I don't play for money. Never have, never cared for it, to be honest with you. Yeah, would give it up just to play this game. So I so I allow that to the business people to say what it's worth, what they're supposed to give a quarterback of my play, a person of my play, leader of my play, I guess you can say. And for me, it's about, as I said, control. I can control and handle that part.
Well, there's talks about duration of the contract, and that was one of the issues between the Cowboys and Dak Prescott. How long is this extension going to be? The total dollars. I think that he's justified in wanting 45. I mean, TJ Watt's at 41 and Myles Garrett's at 40, and they're on contract number 3, and they're either 30 or close to it. Mike is in his prime. Mike is in a position where he could blow the lid off the market to 45. You could even argue that he could get more than 45.
Yo, it's JB the Cowboy fan, and yes, sir, I'm back with another one. Yes, sir, yes, sir. Shout out to my subscribers. Yes, sir, I appreciate y'all. Shout out to my new subscribers. Yes, sir, yes, sir. But yo, y'all know how I do. We're gonna get right into this video. Man, it's about this thing that's still going on, you know what I'm saying, with Micah Parsons, Stephen Jones with his contract. I know I made a video the other day about what Big Country said, and then about what Skip Bayless said, right? So Mike Florio was on 105.3 The Fan. He had some interesting things he was talking about. I know this guy. This guy said Micah Parsons deserved 45 to 50 mil, even more than that. Like, I was like, whoa, hold up. But he also confirmed what Skip Bayless said about that 200 guarantee, about it was like 100, somewhere close to 200 million guaranteed for Micah. Yeah. But I wanted to get into that video about that real quick. So let's check that shit out. There you go.
Mike Florio, D&M Leasing Hotline, Pro Football Talk, and these are the times where we can use his legal expertise as well. Bobby was just explaining his thought on why the league has not gone after Jerry for the way he's negotiating. You're the only one that I saw write about it. What's your answer to it?
Well, why would the league do anything about it? It's for the union. That's why. The NFLPA hasn't done anything about it. The league's got no reason to tell Jerry Jones he's violating the CBA. This is inherent collective bargaining. If there's a grievance to be filed, the union needs to file it. And I just said 15 minutes ago, as we were wrapping up PFT Live for the day, that the new interim executive director, David White, he needs to, first order of business, file a grievance against Jerry Jones for his chronic violations of the CBA by dealing directly with players and taking this ridiculous position that we have a verbal agreement that we haven't reduced to writing. There's a specific clause in the CBA that says any agreement that's reached with the player must be reduced to writing as soon as practical. So if this deal was supposedly done in March, we're in August now. It really is ridiculous, and he just does it with impunity because nobody will stop him. And that's like anybody. If you're doing something you shouldn't be doing, if no one stands up to you and stops you, what are you going to do? You're going to keep doing it.
Do you think that this is common throughout the rest of the league?
Not common like it is, not as brazen like it is with the Cowboys. And I've heard different things along the lines of, they talk about deals that will get done unrelated to football, maybe after the playing career ends, little ways to maybe circumvent the salary cap. And I don't know whether that's true or not, but I know there are people who wonder, why does he do it? Are they talking about handshake deals only for football, or are they talking about handshake deals for things that'll happen after football? Yeah. And I know they've used in the past with guys like Ezekiel Elliott, Dak Prescott, the idea you should take less because playing for the Cowboys has inherent value from a marketing standpoint.
But it does. It does, because if Micah Parsons or Dak Prescott or, if they didn't play for the Cowboys, they wouldn't be, I said they wouldn't be having those endorsements like they do. Micah Podcast won't be that much, you know what I'm saying? It's because they play for the Cowboys. And them two guys ain't did shit. For one, him to be extended to be the highest paid quarterback and Micah Parsons to be top 5.
Standpoint and a broadcasting standpoint and all the different money you can make by being a career Cowboy.
It
But to
is.
their credit, Zeke and Dak, they never blinked. And that's their side of it too. You know, to the extent that Jerry is negotiating directly with these guys, it's not like he's doing good deals.
Yeah.
So maybe the union hasn't challenged it because at the end of the day, they end up paying more than they should when they finally get the deals done.
Give us your overall thoughts on just this entire saga.
Well, look, I remember what you said last year about the Cowboys possibly having their patience wear thin with Micah after 3 seasons in the NFL. And my first reaction to that was, fine, if you got that issue, then just trade him. What are you doing? And I feel like they're kind of in that same posture. If they've got misgivings about Micah Parsons, trade him. If they don't, then pay him. And I think what's currently going on, to the extent that they're taking this position, he agreed to a handshake deal in March. They want him to take that deal, not whatever deal he may want now. And if he doesn't want to take the deal that they think he agreed to in March, then they want him to play for $24 million this year. I think they'd love to kick the can at $24 million into next year, like they did with Dak, like they would have done with CeeDee Lamb if he hadn't held out. Micah Parsons should have held out. And they are basically daring.
Facts. He should, if he was serious, if he was really serious, he should have, after he put out his soliloquy about being traded, he should have never showed up at the facility, bro. He shouldn't be at that practice if he was serious. I do think still Jerry's possibly is I know he's gonna pay him, but I have a fear that he's gonna overpay him. But if he was serious about not wanting to, you know what I'm saying, that he wanted that trade, he shouldn't have never showed up to practice.
Bring him at this point now to say my tight back won't let me play week 1. They're gonna call his bluff because they think at the end of the day he's gonna want to play football. And it's a microcosm of the bigger issue between the league and the players. Whenever there's a question of a work stoppage, whether it's a lockout or a strike, the owners bank on the fact that the players will not want to miss playing football. And I think Jerry Jones is going to dare Micah Parsons to not play football.
Mike Florio, Pro Football Talk, join us here 105 to the Fan. So from the standpoint of the league, let's just say he says, my back still hurts, I can't play. It won't hurt him financially though, right? Because he's hurt and he can still collect all of his money.
He's getting his $24 million. He's not getting the bigger deal that he has earned and is entitled to. But yeah, he gets his game checks, $24 million divided by 18. And I think that's, and you've heard and seen Jerry Jones say things that I think tiptoe around that. And that's why he says he's not sure he's going to play week 1. I think they don't get a deal done. They kick the can to next year and they dare him to not play in 2025. And could he really sit out 17 regular season games because they've yet to give him his contract? So I think that's really the key. And I think they're banking on the fact that he will play. And from the standpoint of why they would want to kick the can, look at it this way. The market's not going to change between now and February or March. The market is 41. No one's getting more than 41 on the defensive side of the ball between now and March. So it's going to cost us the same then that it does now. But if we do it now, we got to carry the entire injury risk for the 2025 season, because that's the one little incremental thing that you need to keep in mind here. There's a chance, small as it may be, that Micah Parsons is going to suffer a career-ending or career-limiting injury this season. And that would make the Cowboys say, man, we got lucky we didn't give him that contract with $180 million guaranteed or whatever would be in it. And I think part of it, too, is there's probably a little flicker of regret that they gave Dak the deal they gave him. So they don't want to regret giving Micah the deal that Micah wants.
Mike, when you look at, you mentioned they can play out this year, they can then just tag him and see, all right, standoff, let's see if you play. Do you think they would do the non-exclusive tag at that point and just say, all right, let's see what deal somebody else signs him to, and then we can evaluate it?
I think a lot of it depends on how many games he plays this year. And if he would somehow not play at all this year, I think they'd be more inclined to do the non-exclusive tag. And let's go back to the NFLPA and the stuff with the collusion grievance, that the ruling was, even though favorable in the end to the NFL, they found that there was an attempt by the league to get these teams to collude. I just wonder whether or not, if the Cowboys would apply the non-exclusive tag, other teams would back off, given everything that's gone on and how ugly it will have gotten if he doesn't play at all this year. I think there's always a danger in pushing back too hard against the shield. And if you push back too hard against one team, I think the other teams have now figured out a way to collectively and collusively make you pay for it without leaving the fingerprints that could get them in trouble. So I think if he doesn't play at all this year or doesn't play much, I think other teams would be more inclined to just not pursue him if they use the non-exclusive tag. If they use the exclusive tag, it gets more expensive. It's driven by the cap numbers, the highest paid players at his position for next year. But if they do the non-exclusive, yeah, it's cheaper, but there's a chance that other teams will just not pursue Micah Parsons.
Really?
But I don't know that yet. I really don't, because, you know, he's Micah Parsons. And efforts to, you know, lock arms and play Red Rover against the players collectively may go out the window if you have a chance to get Micah Parsons.
Mike, would it be any different? We're talking Mike Florio here on 105.
Shoot, I don't know what he's talking about on that, but I think it'll be plenty suitors. You know what I'm saying? It'll be plenty suitors.
Situation.
Mike,
Hold up. I think it'll be, like I was saying, it'll be plenty suitors for Micah Parsons, bro. We could get something if we was to trade for him. I know we can get a first, a third, maybe 2/3, a second, and a first, a second, and 2/4, something. Shit. I don't know what we talking about on that shit right there, bro. Go, hold on, Mike.
Mike Florio, Football Night in America here on Sean and RJ 105 through the fan. Have you heard what the Micah holdup is, and have you heard if any teams have called?
Well, there's talks about, you know, duration of the contract. And that was one of the issues between the Cowboys and Dak Prescott. How long is this extension going to be? You know, the total dollars, I think that he's justified in wanting 45. And TJ Watt's at 41, and Myles Garrett's at 40, and they're on contract number 3, and they're either 30 or close to it. Mike is in
Listen, they still are playing this guy. It is now, and see that's a lot with these. I think what Mike Florio and a lot of these people are not looking at, a lot of football people looking at it, that this guy is not a true DN. He's not truly playing in the position as it is organically to be played. He's not doing it. He's strictly a pass rusher. These other guys are defensive end, true defensive end, that rush the passer, set the edge to stop the run. See, when we're looking at these DNs and we see how impactful they are on their games when they play, it's a total difference from Micah Parsons. They're just looking at Micah Parsons rushing the passer. But that's not the complete and total, you know what I'm saying, job of a defensive end. You can't just rush the passer. You have to be able to stop the run. So,
his prime. Mike is in a position where he could blow the lid off the market to 45. You could even argue that he could get more than 45. I have heard nothing about any teams calling. I have seen.
Man, please show me this argument you can make, Mike Florio. Please show me the argument you can make about this shit. Because we look at these numbers, we look at them stats, it's just all pass rushing stats. There ain't nothing about stopping the run, setting the edge, none of that.
Nothing about any teams calling. Now, maybe the Cowboys are just keeping it quiet. Maybe they're hanging up the phone. I don't know. But if you want Micah Parsons, you're going to have to give him what he wants financially, and you're going to have to give the Cowboys what they want. Is it a Khalil Mack package? Is it more than that? I don't know. But you're talking about a big commitment to make at a fairly late stage of the year where your money's spent, your roster's set. I still think teams should be willing to give it a try. I mean, if the Bills and Ravens want to get past the Chiefs, this would be a pretty effective way to do it. and trading him out of the conference, if the Cowboys are going to trade him at all, you probably would like to not have to deal with him on a regular basis if he was in your conference or worse than that in the division. And I saw the odds, like next team odds, like the Eagles were the second team after. Does anybody really think that the Cowboys would trade Micah Parsons to Philadelphia Eagles?
It ain't gotta be the Eagles.
Or the Dangles.
Yeah, right.
So, man, I was just checking that shit out, man. The fact that Mike Florio think that Micah Parsons is worth way more than that. He was offered 190 to 200 and guaranteed, and that's what the fight is over. He wants more. His agent wants Micah Parsons to get more money he hasn't earned, man. That's crazy. So, man, this guy, man, his four seasons in the league, bro. He's never been over 14 sacks. The familiar names that we see are always there. The familiar names of these sack leaders, and these are all pass rushing stats. Sacks. That's just showing that Micah Parsons is a one-trick pony. He cannot play the position. Hell, he can't play linebacker. He will be better suited to play linebacker in the 3-4 defense. But then he'll still be a liability in the pass. He's a liability in the pass game and the running game, far as if you've been put in a one-on-one situation, have to guard a tight end or a running back. That's a mismatch. And he'll take an L on both of those situations. And then he can't stop the run. They're just looking at this guy as being strictly a pass rusher. That's it. Strictly a pass rusher. Nick Bosa again. You got Hassan Reddick, Myles Garrett, Chris Jones. Dak has never been over. He's never had like 19, 20 sacks. When these guys have had all that. Let me go back to 2021. Let me see that. Hold on. Let me go back to 2021. TJ Watt, 22 sacks. Robert Quinn, 18. Myles Garrett, 16. Nick Bosa, 15. Trey Henderson, 14. We go to 2023. All the first 3 years, never top 5. TJ Watt, 19. Trey Henderson, 17. Josh Hines Allen. He played for Jacksonville, 17 and a half. Khalil Mack, 17. He went off that year. He's a linebacker. He ain't even a defensive end. Danielle Hunter. And last year, Trey Henderson, 17. Myles Garrett, 14. Nick Bonito, 13. Kyle Van Noy, 12 and a half. Danielle Hunter, 12. And Mike Florio said this guy deserved 45, 50 plus for being a one-trick pony. This would be a big mistake by Jerry Jones if he make him the highest paid. 45 plus. Yo, this is JB the Cowboy fan. I appreciate y'all for listening to me. Like and subscribe to the channel. Let's go, Cowboys.
I'm glad. I will tell you this. If there's a human breathing that I've ever met that I'm proud that took advantage of me financially, I'm proud it's the one sitting to the right. And Dak.
More people get to look at our brand and get to look at us, which at the end of the day benefits all of us. So my job is just play on the field and ignore all the rest of the noise.